Chapter 21 Diamond Rank Gear. Have you ever seen it? Kale narrowed his eyes, his smile blooming like a chrysanthemum. Then he gave a slight shake and sneered. How could you have seen it? Not even the current mayor has one. But that's not important. In a few days, our Dragonlight Guild will at least have 3 diamond rank items. And after that, with these gear, the Dragonlight Guild is sure to rise. We might even take a place in Ironvale. Kale rubbed his nose, gave Aiden a cold glance, and waved his hand. It's not like it matters to you. We've got real business to do. Still, when our Dragonlight Guild takes off, your days are over. By then, we might even become one of the top guilds in the country. And you? I can just snap my fingers and erase you. How does that feel? Kale stopped walking, took a few steps, then stopped again. He turned back and sneered at Aiden. Aiden stayed completely calm the whole time. When he saw Kale was about to say more, Aiden just curled his lips into a sly smile and walked away. He already guessed what Kale was here for. Not just the Dragonlight Guild, the Warrior God Guild people would probably show up soon too, and they were all coming to buy the diamond rank materials Aiden had just taken out. Too bad for Kale, he didn't know. He thought he was about to rise. It was pretty funny. Aiden looked up, half closing his eyes. I wonder, when you've already paid a deposit and are full of hope, but then find out you can't buy the diamond rank materials. How would that feel? Like your dream just crashed? Aiden smiled. He wasn't exactly a good guy. Since Kale was being so arrogant, Aiden didn't mind playing a little game. After all, taking a deposit was harmless for him, and these diamond rank materials were just a drop in the bucket. A single Iron Dragon boss drop. If he killed a noble demon in the abyss, Aiden estimated he'd probably get a bunch of Starlight rank materials, epic materials. Even higher level legendary rank ones. That would be the real big deal that shocked the whole White City. This is the place. Aiden walked into a fancy restaurant, located in the most expensive part of the city center. His eyes stayed calm. As soon as he walked in, a group of girls in elegant dresses came to greet him. Every one of them had high looks, like the school's top beauty. But here, they were common. One of the girls smiled sweetly and bowed to Aiden. Hello, sir, are you here to eat? Aiden nodded. How many people? 1. Aiden didn't say much. Soon, a screen was pulled over near the window. On the table in front of him, there were all kinds of delicious dishes and a very expensive bottle of champagne. This meal cost almost $10,000. The food wasn't much, but the presentation was huge. Aiden's expression didn't change much. But when he looked down from the window and saw the whole city, he suddenly took a deep breath. This feeling was good. After eating, Aiden paid the bill, then went to a Starlight store. He came here to buy a gear that increases magic power. 3 skill books use a lot of magic. Without extra magic power, he wasn't sure if he could last in the Abyssal Sanctum. He might even run out of magic himself. As for life potions and magic potions, Aiden didn't need to buy them. He already had 200 of each. Hey, it's been a while. Lenara saw Aiden and her eyes lit up. She smiled brightly and squinted. Yesterday we saw each other. Aiden said. Lenara smiled. Ah, I missed you, a guy as handsome as you. Aiden smiled. I'm here to buy gear that increases magic power. High rank, please. There is. Lenara's face lit up. What rank do you want? There's iron rank, silver rank. Aiden, stop. What's the highest rank? Lenara was confused. There's a platinum rank item, but the price. It's our store's top treasure. It costs over 400 million. Also, I should mention, this gear is broken. It's not a complete platinum rank gear. Otherwise, the price would be way more than 400 million. Lenara smiled and rubbed her nose, then said to Aiden, just know that, ha ha ha. You're not actually going to buy it, are you? Aiden had come in yesterday to buy gear. The cheapest was iron rank. Today, he was buying magic gear. Lenara thought he was probably going to level up. She thought he'd only buy a bronze rank item at most. Okay, pay with card. Aiden pulled out a card, then called a phone and handed it to Lenara. You still need 100 million. Call him and ask him to transfer it to you. What? Lenara was shocked. What the heck? But when she heard the voice on the other end of the phone, she suddenly got cold all over. Lucian, the manager of the Reclasser Association, the second most powerful person in the White City. Got it. Aiden looked at Lenara. She was completely frozen, her brain blank. She just nodded like a chicken pecking. Aiden took the phone back and said, "A little short. I asked you to transfer it early. Not a problem, right?" Lucien on the other end spoke in a humble voice and swallowed hard. "Not a problem at all. Not at all. Not even 10 billion. I can get it for you." Even though they had already talked about it before, they would discuss with all the guilds first, then send the deposit and first payment to Aiden after today ended. But there are always exceptions. Aiden needed money now, and Lucien was already ready to run. "Okay, then I won't say more." Aiden hung up the phone. Lenara watched this, and her mouth opened wide, forming a zero. She was completely stunned. She stayed silent for a long time before finally taking a deep breath. You actually know Lucien, the second most powerful person in the White City." Aiden just smiled. Lenara shook her head. No, it's not just knowing him. From the way he spoke, Lucien was so respectful to you." She suddenly covered her mouth, her whole body trembling. "This is too scary. Your status is so high, but yesterday—" "Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked. I talked too much." Lenara stuck out her tongue and shivered again. "I'll go get the paperwork for you right away. It'll be done in a second." Lenara rushed off and came back with a very delicate ring. Then she also pulled out a list and a warranty card. "Mr. Aiden, you check if there's anything wrong. This is an extra gift," Lenara said with a trembling voice. "Just now, the boss of Starlight Store called from out of town. He said he wanted to give you a discount and also gave you 2 skill books as a gift." Skill books. Aiden looked at it briefly, and it was indeed discounted. Originally 400 million, now it was reduced by 50 million. And the 2 skill books weren't combat or healing ones. Cloaking Art, Platinum rank, can hide your class name and level. If you meet a high-level detection spell, it can block Platinum rank and lower detection effects. Eye of Insight, Platinum rank, can see monsters, reclassers, and bosses' detailed stats. Also reveals hidden information on rare items. Both skill books were very useful to Aiden, especially the Eye of Insight. That was a high-level detection spell. He had forgotten to buy it before. Now he could check the detailed stats of a reclasser and even get more complete info when looking at a boss. As for the Cloaking Art, it could hide Aiden's current info from others. "Tell your boss thanks for me," Aiden said coldly. 2 Platinum rank skill books. Their total value was definitely more than the magic power boosting gear. The boss of Starlight Store must have known Aiden's identity. This was just a favor done on the way. Then, Aiden turned his eyes to the incredibly delicate ring in front of him. Chapter 22, Entering the Abyssal Sanctum. Killing Demons. Heaven-Devouring Ring. Platinum rank. Magic power plus 1000. Max magic power plus 30%. Magic cost of skills reduced by 10%. This ring was once owned by an ancient great demon lord and was crafted by a terrifying and powerful dwarven artificer. Nice. Aiden looked at the ring that boosted magic power. The stats were amazing. It was almost better than most Platinum rank gear. It could probably be called Diamond rank. Daft artificers. Ancient great demon lords. Aiden narrowed his eyes at the extra info on the status panel. This thing has some real pedigree. No wonder it's way stronger than normal Platinum rank gear. Not bad, huh? Lenara looked at Aiden's happy face and said thoughtfully, "This ring is the shop's biggest treasure. We've had it for a long time. A high-level reclasser from Iron Vale wanted to buy it, but the shop owner didn't sell it. I heard that if it can be repaired, the stats will double." Aiden blinked. Double? That would be 2,000 magic power, a 60% increase in max magic, and a 20% reduction in magic cost. Unbelievable. Aiden swallowed hard and nodded. But repairing something at this level would be super hard. Lysander. Aiden frowned slightly, thinking to himself, if Lysander could reach legendary rank, he might be able to try fixing this ring. Right now, Lysander was just an epic artificer. He could make gear, but repairing was not his strong suit. But if Lysander became a legendary rank artificer, this Platinum rank ring might be worth a try. Maybe they could restore its original effects. "Let's go." Aiden glanced at Lenara and said coldly, "Huh? Yeah, okay, Mr. Aiden." Lenara took a deep breath, still looking shocked. She hadn't come out of the shock yet. Then, in front of Lenara's eyes, Aiden raised his hand and crushed the permit. A second later, the six-pointed star ritual circle flashed, and Aiden's body began to fade. Aiden looked at the new message and felt a bit nervous. He took a deep breath and said to himself, I hope everything goes smoothly this time. Even though his combat and defense were now way above level 10, and he had gotten 2 good skill books from Starlight Store and a platinum rank gear. But Abyssal Sanctum was still the most terrifying dungeon in the entire data era. No doubt about it. Aiden was still a bit nervous. At the same time, seeing Aiden use an epic permit, Lenara opened her mouth in shock. What? An epic permit? Are you going to challenge an epic dungeon? Oh my god, that's way too extreme. Lenara's brain was about to crash. She had just met Aiden yesterday, and she thought he was just a handsome young high school boy. But what happened next? He knew one of the top people in the White City, Lucian. And Lucian even respected Aiden like. Aiden's status was so high that even Lucian had to look up to him. He bought gear worth billions without thinking. And he was so young, yet dared to challenge an epic dungeon alone. For a moment, Lenara sighed deeply. My god, I thought a romance was about to happen, but now it looks like Mr. Aiden's identity. That I might be too low for him. This is terrifying. What kind of background does he have? He's so generous. Even our Warrior God Guild and Dragonlight Guild in the White City couldn't act like this. She thought for a moment. Her eyes lit up. She swallowed hard and suddenly realized something. Holy shit. Is he connected to that top-level genius from the province yesterday? The one who used a forbidden spell. Lenara was struck by lightning. She was completely frozen for a moment. Hey, Lenara, come over and pay. I'm busy. A voice from the side called out. She snapped back to reality and quickly called out, Okay, coming. The abyss, a place of silence, was filled with bones. The sky had no sunlight, just darkness. My god, this is the abyss. Just the edge. Aiden's body slowly became real. He lifted his eyes and his teeth clenched. It was so cold. The Abyssal Sanctum was even scarier than he had imagined. Not just cold, but full of death. The black space was almost completely dark. Aiden used a fireball to light the way. At the same time, it also gave him a little warmth. This place is why it's called the scariest dungeon of the whole era. Aiden took a deep breath, and his expression turned serious. Now, he was walking on a field of corpses. Bones of monsters and messy, sticky blood mixed together. Every step he took made his stomach churn. Worse still, the freezing cold and the terrifying darkness made him a little nervous. SSSSS. A strange sound came from the dark. Aiden's expression changed. 10th level monster. Aiden was stunned. Where's the edge area? Where was the safe zone? Why was it already a 10th level monster? Skeleton soldier rank, silver rank level, 10 HP, 5,000 skeleton soldier. Aiden knew this monster well. It was even on the cover of one of his high school textbooks. These were dead creatures, one of the most common monsters in the abyss. The skeleton soldier was made entirely of black bones. Its massive body had no skin or flesh at all. Only 2 deep, glowing eyes burned with a flicker of blood-red flame. It was terrifying. The monster held a sharp bone blade in its hand. With a creaking sound, it took a step forward, its bones clacking together as it walked toward Aiden. Fireball! Aiden was only slightly surprised, then quickly regained his composure. He raised his hand and shot a fireball. Boom! The skeleton soldier exploded into pieces. What the hell? Aiden raised an eyebrow, stunned. A 10-fold bonus? He had just made his first kill in the abyss. He had been hoping for some rare reward, but all he got was a 10-fold bonus. 20,000 experience points. As for the bone sword, armor, and bone shards, Aiden only glanced at them before tossing them aside. He didn't even bother to pick them up. Too weak. No real value. Just taking up space. Maybe it's because my power has increased. Aiden rubbed his chin, thinking. Maybe that's why killing lower-level monsters now gives less bonus. Before, he could get gold rank gear just by killing a long-haired rabbit. Now, a 15th level abyss monster only gave him some trash. He guessed it was because of his increased strength. Hmm. After a moment of silence, Aiden narrowed his eyes. Then I should try to take down higher-level bosses. He rubbed his nose and kept going forward. The fireball cast a faint glow, barely letting him see the path ahead. Boom! Suddenly, a strange sound echoed through the darkness. Aiden's body tensed up instantly. A strong, magical disturbance came from the distance. A second later, a terrifying monster appeared right in front of him. What the hell was that? Aiden furrowed his brow and tightened his grip on his Iron Dragon's magic staff. Then, the monster's detailed stats appeared in his vision. Fire Demon Boss Rank, Gold Rank Level, 15 HP, 40,000? Aiden stared at the panel, stunned. A 15th level demon? And it was a boss? Shit. Aiden's skin prickled. He instinctively jumped back, then raised his staff and got ready to fight. Chapter 23, High-End Demon Boss. Completed second-class mission. Aiden's power was really strong right now, but his level was only 10. His defense wasn't much better than what his gear gave him. A level 10 reclasser fighting a level 15 Abyss boss? Normally, that's a one-way trip to the grave. Even if Aiden was strong, he was a little nervous. Intruder. A human? Ahaha. Human meat is the best. A level 10 Magic Apprentice? Ah. Have you humans gotten so weak that you send such a weak mage to the Abyss? That's just asking to die. The flame demon was huge, at least 4 or 5 meters tall. Its wings, like big doors, hung down and flapped in the air. The demon's face had a mocking expression. It smiled, showing its teeth, and sneered at Aiden. High intelligence. Aiden stared at the flame demon, holding his staff tightly. Normally, a low-tier boss. Yeah, 15 is considered a low-tier boss. Bosses at this level usually don't have much brain power. But this flame demon looked almost human. Looking at the message on his screen, Aiden furrowed his brow. The flame demon suddenly narrowed its eyes and laughed. What? You still want to fight back? I'm a noble demon, one who can compete for the title of Demon Baron. Do you think I'm just a low-level monster? Demon Baron? Aiden was stunned. In the Abyss, the gap between noble demons and regular ones was huge. Not just in power, but in territory and gear too. You could say noble demons were like rulers in the human world. They had their own lands and lots of resources. Arrived in the Abyss just to meet a noble demon? Where's the safe zone? Aiden frowned, feeling a bit annoyed. What kind of pass did Lucian give me? A 10-level Magic Apprentice going after a noble demon boss? That was insane. Huh. Do you finally realize it? Now you're scared. The flame demon raised a claw, looking down on Aiden. It snorted and frowned, then sneered. Give up your weapon and let me eat you. After I eat your meat, especially that delicious heart, I'll turn you into a skeleton demon. Then you can fight in the Abyss, hunting your human geniuses. How's that? At least you'll get a little respect. A Magic Apprentice, such a weak class. So you came to the Abyss to level up, right? Want to take a risk, huh? Ha! The flame demon mocked Aiden, and its smile made its face look twisted. Aiden's eyes turned colder. Then I'll test my skills on you. Aiden took a deep breath in his heart. He didn't waste any words. He just launched an ultimate frost right away. Boom! A terrifying wave of ice elements gathered, and in an instant, the ground under Aiden's feet was frozen. The terrifying ice element field kept spreading out, and in a blink of an eye, it covered the flying flame demon in the air. The flame demon was completely frozen in place. It couldn't move at all. What? At this moment, the flame demon's expression finally changed dramatically, showing a look of fear and disbelief. It opened its mouth wide, its eyes bulging out of its head, and screamed in a crazy voice. You! How could you have such a powerful skill? A Magic Apprentice? The worst class. Even in your human world, you should be at the bottom, right? How could you have such a terrifying high-level skill? No! The flame demon looked scary. The ice elements were like ants, quickly covering its body, then its face. In the end, the flame demon didn't even get to let out one last roar before it was completely frozen into a statue. Hmm. When Aiden saw this, his eyes widened. That strong. This was his first time using Ultimate Frost, and even Aiden was a little shocked. That skill was actually that powerful? A 15-level boss, just frozen in place? No chance to fight back? Aiden took a deep breath and quickly used the Thunder's Wrath skill again. This was Aiden's strongest card right now. No question about it. Bang! Boom, boom, boom. In an instant, a terrifying wave of lightning elements gathered from the sky, crashing down with a deafening sound. A lightning bolt tore through the entire abyss, smashing down from the sky. It hit the flame demon boss directly. Crash! Suddenly, it was like a storm had arrived. More lightning followed one after another. Thunder's Wrath. It was like countless bolts of lightning. They were attacking from all directions, hitting everything in the field. Wait, did it just die? Aiden was completely stunned. No way. He could already kill a 15-level Abyss boss in one hit. There was nothing he could do. His power had just skyrocketed, and even he hadn't gotten used to it yet. A level 10 could now kill a 15-level Abyss boss. Wow, this bonus was actually pretty good. 100 times the reward. Aiden swallowed hard and quickly checked his loot. This time, the rewards were huge. All the materials have been multiplied by 100, especially the Flame Demon Sword, almost a half-finished gold rank item. Just a little crafting and the right materials, and it would become a real gold rank weapon. And according to the hint, it wasn't just a simple gold rank weapon. It had the original strength of Abyss demons inside it. Nice! Aiden narrowed his eyes, feeling a surge of excitement in his chest. Mass-producing gold rank gear? If I told people about this, they'd be shocked out of their minds. Gold rank was already considered high-end gear in the White City. No, even in the more advanced-based cities, it was a rare, top-tier item. But now, Aiden could just make them by the hundreds. He had already gotten over 100 gold rank material items just by arriving at the Abyssal Sanctum. Getting higher-level gear? That would be a piece of cake. Aiden took a deep breath and nodded in satisfaction. A little disappointing, though. No gear or skill books, just raw materials. But that's fine. Aiden smirked. I'll get them soon. Let me just take a little more loot before I go back to do my class change. Killing the Flame Demon wasn't just about getting a ton of high-level materials. The class change mission was also completed in an instant. The mission he had been worried about all along? Gone in a second. That made Aiden feel really good. Now, it was time to enjoy the killing and hunting. The main mission was done. Obtain Skeleton Blade Zone 100, Skeleton Skull Zone 100, Golden Skeleton Skull Stew 100, Crimson Demon Wings Zone 100, Fiery Heart Zone 100, Nice Abyss Bow Zone 100, Spirit Fragment Zone 100, Bloodshot Golden Demon Eye Zone 100, Fiery Flame Claw Zone 100, Blue Glowing Spirit Skull Zone 100. Aiden walked around aimlessly, just raising his staff and casting an Ultimate Frost, then following it up with a Thunder's Wrath. It was like a complete cakewalk. The amount of loot he got made him almost speechless. Chapter 24 Massive Experience. Unlocked high-level skills. Too much experience. Aiden was super excited. He was only level 10 now. The experience pool had so much stored up that he couldn't even count it himself. There were already hundreds of millions of experience points. No way he could level up to 20 after unlocking the level cap. If there was no class change limit, Aiden could go from level 1 to 100 in a short time, just from the 1,000 times critical strike bonus. Of course, if this second class boosted his class rank, it would take a bit more experience. But even if the rank was higher, even if it was a mythic class, what did it matter? It was a 1,000 times critical strike. Just by killing a skeleton soldier, Aiden could get rare materials, even high-level weapons. Awesome stuff. After killing a ton of elite monsters, Aiden had dropped a bunch of gear and skill books. But most of the gear was gold rank, because the place Aiden landed was pretty much a backwater. Except for the fire demon boss he just met, most of the abyss monsters had low rank and level. Getting gold rank gear was already pretty good. But Aiden's gear was mostly above gold rank now, so he didn't need to replace it. However, the skill books were different. Aiden was surprised to find that he had gotten a Starlight rank skill book. Demon's Domain, Starlight rank. Create a field filled with death and despair. instantly gather dark elements and attack all targets inside, dealing high magic and physical damage. It also deals high spirit damage to those hit. This is a domain skill, a dark skill. It uses little mana. Increasing mana cost will expand the domain size, up to 10 times bigger. Demon's Domain. Reading the skill description, Aiden was stunned. This skill book dropped from a level 10 elite monster. A skill book from a skeleton knight. Aiden estimated it was at least a 1,000 times bonus. And this skill's rank was higher than Diamond rank Thunder's Wrath. It was Aiden's first Starlight rank skill book. It was just one step away from the epic tier. Can expand 10 times? A domain skill. And it's a dark skill. Aiden took a deep breath, too shocked to say anything. As a human, he had always believed in the light. But the Abyss world was part of the dark side. But Aiden didn't expect his strongest skill to be related to darkness. He rubbed his chin, his chest rising and falling slightly. He got lost in thought. Should I learn it or sell it? This skill was really powerful, and Aiden was really tempted. But as a smart guy, Aiden knew exactly how skills affected mages. If a mage learned a light-based skill early on, they'd probably become a light element mage after their next class change. If they learned healing skills, they'd likely end up in a healing-based class later. Career growth. It was just like human growth. What you learned as a kid would strongly affect you when you grew up. Dark skills weren't very friendly to humans. It wasn't just that humans didn't like dark reclassers. Dark elements could also corrupt humans. If it got bad, they could even turn into demons, lose their will, and become mindless abyss monsters. Never mind. Aiden thought for a second, then shook his head. Learn it. His thinking was simple. If he didn't learn a powerful skill now, he might regret it later. No matter if people hated him or didn't like him, strength was the only truth. He immediately learned the Demon's Domain skill. Right away, he could feel some black dust in his vision. His ability to sense dark elements had improved a lot. Then, Aiden raised his hand. Suddenly, an enormous domain appeared, glowing with strange and colorful light. It stood out clearly in the abyss. Boom! A huge shockwave came. In the next second, all the abyss monsters in Aiden's vision exploded, turning into pieces. The strongest one was a 13-level demon boss. Aiden was shocked. Was it that strong? The power of the Starlight rank skill was beyond his expectations. He was stunned for a long time, swallowing hard. It wasn't just about killing a 13-level boss. It also killed over 100 monsters at the same time, and the mana cost was almost nothing. Aiden barely felt any change. If I expand the domain 10 times, how strong would it be? Aiden's lips were slightly dry. His eyes shone with excitement and eagerness. Run! Demon Viscount! What are you doing? Ahaha! A Demon Viscount? I'm not a Viscount. I'm about to become a Count. You little bugs, invaders, daring to take resources in the abyss? You're asking for death. Suddenly, a bunch of loud voices made Aiden frown. He quickly looked up toward the front. There, in the light of the fire, deep in the dark abyss, a group of human boys and girls appeared. They looked terrified, running toward Aiden's direction. Behind them, a really scary demon followed. It was over 10 meters tall, like a mountain floating in the air. The wings behind it were so large they almost blocked out the sky. Dark purple flames and golden fire danced and burned across the demon's body. What? A 40-level abyss boss? Aiden just glanced up, and in the next second, his whole body trembled. It wasn't fake fear. A 40-level abyss boss. And looking at the first-class group rushing toward him, Aiden checked their levels. Aiden glanced at them and was instantly confused. What the heck? Their gear was super high quality, with the worst being gold rank. Their classes were even more shocking. Aiden scanned them and saw 2 legendary rank and several epics right away. Even the weakest one was Starlight rank. The girl in front, Dragon King's Holy Maiden, was a girl with an incredibly beautiful face and perfect body. Her bright eyes shone with light, and even in the dark abyss, it was easy to tell she was a top beauty. But the next second, Aiden's eyes shook. Vespera. He recognized her. It was almost instinctive. Wasn't this the Vespera the top genius girl of the entire country, known as the sovereign city's strongest talent, the heiress of the sovereign city. She was rich, powerful, and mysterious. She had been interviewed by the Sovereign City News, often appeared on TV shows, and not long ago, she even gave a speech to encourage all the high school seniors to study hard and get into Harvard University. But now, why was she in the abyss? Run! Vespera saw Aiden and was briefly stunned by his handsome face and tall build. After a moment, she shouted, her face full of panic, "Run! Don't just stand there. A 40-level abyss boss. A fire demon." Behind her, the demon god's messenger, also a cute girl with a little girl style, raised her hand and cast a high-level skill. A firestorm formed, barely holding back the fire demon boss. And the epic troll warrior, the strongest of the group, roared. The tall, strong boy raised a shield and shouted to the others behind him, "You guys run first. I'll hold it off." "No, not good. I can't hold it much longer." Right after he spoke, in the next second, the troll warrior shook violently and was thrown back by a wave of force. From the flames, the demon boss flew out, a cruel smile on its face. It looked at Aiden and the others and sneered, "Human trash. Are you really that weak?" Chapter 25, 40-level boss of the abyss. Terrifying, noble demon. The flame demon lifted its terrifying face and smirked. "Run? Why aren't you running? Ha! So many human talents here, huh? Epic legendary rank O. There are even 2 of them. Your hearts must be delicious. After I eat your hearts, I might even reach legendary rank myself." Vespera's face turned shocked. She inhaled sharply, gritted her teeth, and shouted, "No way. Do you really think we can't beat you? Oslu, I'm telling you, there are gods in the human race who have reached 100 levels. If you dare touch us, you're finished. Even your demon dukes won't be able to save you. No, even now, if you really want to die with us, I can destroy you. Don't believe me? Try it." Vespera's chest was rising and falling slightly. Her small and delicate body looked even more full and attractive. But her expression was cold. The troll warrior and the messenger of the demon god also ran toward Vespera. A group of boys and girls stood in a row, facing off against the flame demon Oslu. Oslu's face changed slightly. He gritted his teeth and looked angry and frustrated. "Shut up. Don't try to scare me with human gods. Do you really think I'm afraid? 100 levels? Ha! In the abyss, there are plenty of demons who have broken through 100 levels. You humans, if it weren't for, haha, it's useless to talk to you. Compared to the abyss, you're just ants. We decide who lives and who dies. A few demon dukes could wipe out your entire race." Vespera frowned. "Stop lying. I'll ask you one last time, do you want to chase us down? Don't let us go. Demon dukes? You're just a baron right now. I don't know how strong the dukes are, but you. My father could crush you with one hand. If you want to die, I won't stop you. Come on." Vespera looked determined. The flame demon hesitated a bit. His eyes showed some fear, but he took a deep breath. His chest rose and fell, clearly angry. "Threatening me? Fine, fine. Then I'll kill all of you today. I want to see if your human strong ones can deal with me. Can they find me?" Aslan never fears those tiny human insects. Invaders only have one fate death. Suddenly, a terrifying dark energy spread out. Thick black smoke swallowed Vespera and all the reclassers. Bad! Vespera's face turned pale. At the same time, Aiden was also shocked. Fire Demon Osla boss rank. Epic level. 40 HP. 5 million. Osla the Flame Demon, a top member of the powerful Flame Demon race in the Abyss, has earned the title of Baron. He has a large territory and high magic and physical resistance. His power is extremely strong and terrifying. He is a national red name boss, wanted for a long time. A national red name boss? Oh man! Aiden inhaled sharply, his heart shaking a little. This was definitely the strongest boss he had ever seen, no question about it. From the inside eye, Aiden also saw some hidden hints. This boss had already gained the title of Baron. Even in the Abyss, it was a very powerful being. Its magic resistance and physical defense were both really strong. 5 million HP, and high magic resistance and defense. Aiden was actually a bit scared now. But the next second, he pulled out a bunch of damage boost potions. Swish, swish, swish. He quickly drank one after another. He kept going until he had downed 200 bottles, and then the message finally appeared. Wow, the limit was 200 bottles this time. Aiden was a little shocked. Is it because of the increased power? Or maybe my force stats went up and my body can now hold more high-level damage boost potions. He wasn't sure why, but one thing was clear. The damage Aiden dealt this time was way higher than when he killed the Iron Dragon boss. And Aiden was still wearing 2 epic-level gear pieces. He took a deep breath again, his heart beating fast. He could even feel his hands shaking from holding the staff. The next second, he stepped forward and stood in front of Vespera and the others. He raised his staff high. Boom! An ultimate frost spell exploded out of Aiden. Why? Vespera was stunned. What are you doing? Get out of the way. The demons. Vespera was shocked to the core. She didn't expect that this good-looking guy would stand in front of her. What level was he? What class? He looked like he was from the Xia Empire. A young face, probably around her age, a high school student too. But how could he dare to face the flame demon Oslo like that? Was he crazy? For a moment, Vespera felt something in her heart. Then, she ran to Aiden's side, trying to pull him behind her. But right after that, her expression froze, because in her eyes, a terrifying ice element had formed. In just 1 second, it completely froze Oslo. What? After the shock, Vespera swallowed hard. She felt completely out of it. How is this possible? What kind of skill could freeze a flame demon? But Vespera didn't have time to think. She instinctively narrowed her eyes and shouted, "Quick! Everyone, attack! Now that Oslo is frozen, hit him now!" As Vespera said that, the little girl from the demon god's messenger, as well as the troll warrior, all started moving. A bunch of skills, with colorful effects, flashed out and hit the flame demon all at once. Right away, the flame demon exploded. His body was torn to pieces in an instant. The health bar shook violently, continuously falling from 100%, 95%, 80%, 67% until the health bar dropped to 50%. The flame demon Oslo finally broke free from the ice. He let out a deafening roar, his voice filled with rage. "Damn it! You dare attack me? I am Oslo, the noble and mighty demon baron. You stupid, treacherous insects." The flame demon was screaming like a madman, but Vespera and the other students didn't even pay attention. Instead, they focused even more intensely on their attacks. Crash! Vespera shuddered as she switched into her draconic form. Golden scales covered her body, and wings appeared behind her. She flicked her wrist, and a sharp, long sword materialized in her hand. She leapt forward, slashing at the flame demon. Clang! The demon was hit. The health bar shook again. But right after that, Vespera was knocked back, flying like a broken kite and crashing into Aiden's side. The flame demon roared again, louder this time. "Die. Death is my mercy to you. All of you die." The group was shocked. Vespera gritted her teeth. "No way. He's enraged. The second phase has activated. The boss is in a rage." Wow, really terrifying. No wonder she's a genius, the prodigy from the sovereign city, Aiden said, watching the scene with awe. How old was Vespera? Under 20 levels, and she was already taking on a 40-level flame demon boss. And the other students were also super strong. They had just taken out 50% of the demon's health in one go. "It's my turn," Aiden said, taking a deep breath. His class was definitely weak. His level wasn't high. But Aiden had 2 epic tier items on him, and he had just learned the Starlight rank skill book. He had just glanced at Vespera, and she didn't even have an epic item. After all, gear of that rank was considered a national treasure. There weren't many of them in the entire Xia Empire, let alone in the hands of students. And most importantly, Aiden had just downed 200 high-level damage boost potions. His current power was absolutely stronger than any of them. With a flash, Aiden no longer held back. He unleashed the demon's domain skill. Boom! A massive, pitch-black ritual circle appeared, instantly engulfing the flame demon Oslu. Chapter 26. Desperation. Vespera's despair. The flame demon Oslu's eyes narrowed sharply, locking on Aiden instantly. He spoke in a cold tone. "Human, you're so stupid to use demon's domain against me. A demon noble. D." As the dark ritual circle appeared, the flame demon Oslu didn't run away at first. As a strong being about to become a demon count, he saw right away what skill Aiden was using. Run? A 10th level human's demon's domain couldn't be that strong. There was no need to. In an instant, the dark ritual circle exploded. A huge wave of dark energy rushed out like a flood, completely covering the flame demon Oslu's huge body. How is this possible? This isn't just a normal demon's domain. The flame demon Oslu roared in panic. He tried to escape from the demon's domain, but it was too late. Vespera, the little girl demon god's messenger, and the troll warrior didn't miss this chance. Facing a 40-level abyss boss, they had to give their all. One mistake, and they would all be wiped out. Vespera and the others moved quickly, blocking the flame demon Oslu's back and both sides. They stood very close to the demon's domain. The strong dark energy made Vespera's heart beat faster, and her hair stood on end. This powerful dark skill was released by that handsome guy earlier. Who is he? Even in this life or death moment, Vespera couldn't stop herself. Aiden's performance was just too mysterious. He looked about her age, and yet he was stronger than her, the daughter of the sky. "Back up a little," Aiden shouted, and started to pull out mana potions from his storage space, throwing them into his mouth one after another. Demon's Domain, Starlight rank, creates an area full of death and despair. It quickly gathers dark elements and attacks everything within the area, dealing high magical and physical damage, and causing massive spirit damage to those hit. This is a domain skill, a dark skill, and it uses little mana. Increasing mana usage can expand the domain size up to 10 times bigger. Using more mana made the demon's domain bigger and stronger. Faced with a 40-level flame demon Oslu, Aiden didn't dare to relax. At that moment, he looked like a man about to die of thirst, drinking expensive mana potions like they were nothing. Endless mana kept the demon's domain hitting the flame demon Oslu. His life had dropped from 5 million to 30%, leaving 1.5 million. "Damn you, human. Do you think you can kill me like this?" The flame demon Oslu screamed in pain, and his voice shook the ground around him. But Aiden showed no fear, only excitement. He had planned to finish his class change quest, take a quick look around, and then go back to the White City to submit it. But the flame demon Oslu's appearance was dangerous, but also a big opportunity. This was a 40-level abyss boss, and it was epic. Iron Dragon was just a 30-level diamond boss. The materials it dropped were already worth a fortune. If they could kill the flame demon Oslu, they would get a huge amount of epic materials. Just thinking about it was enough to get your heart racing. The materials from a diamond rank Iron Dragon had already shaken the whole of the White City. Even for a short time, they couldn't be sold directly. They had to be auctioned. And that was just for diamond. Epic materials from the Abyss were way more valuable than regular boss drops. But things didn't go as smoothly as expected. Suddenly, the flame demon Oslu's body exploded with red light, like fire. It kept pushing against the dark energy inside the demon's domain. Some of the red light that escaped the domain started burning the ground. The abyss floor was covered with bones and messy, sticky blood from all sorts of monsters. Under the heat, it gave off a terrible smell. "Hold him back." Aiden looked at Vespera and the others. They were all famous geniuses in the Sovereign City. They had to have some strong tricks up their sleeves. Compared to Iron Dragon, the flame demon Oslu was stronger and harder to kill. If he could keep leveling up now, all that experience would make his level jump fast. No need to deal with this demon so hard. At that moment, Vespera looked at the little girl and said with a determined face, "Vivi now." Vivi, the demon god's messenger, took a deep breath and started chanting in a strange, hard-to-understand language. Her body began to glow with black and white energy, and she flew quickly toward Vespera. At the same time, Vivi's legs gave out, and she collapsed on the ground of the abyss. Demigod boost. She had used a powerful skill, and it had drained her completely. She couldn't fight anymore. Now, Vespera transformed into a dragon form. Her golden scales glowed brighter after absorbing the black and white energy. Her huge dragon wings flapped, leaving faint golden afterimages. With the demigod boost, Vespera didn't hesitate. She grabbed her sword and ran toward Aslu, who had just reached the edge of the demon's domain. Dragon Roar Sword. Her sword suddenly glowed with a bright golden light, like a giant dragon shadow. It roared forward and struck at Aslu. The flame demon Aslu quickly raised his ugly demon claws to block Vespera's strongest attack. Roar! Boom! The dragon shadow roared, and the impact sent Vespera flying backward through the air. Her beautiful face turned pale, and she spat out a big mouthful of blood before landing heavily at Aiden's feet. The flame demon Aslu wasn't doing any better. His arm looked like it had been torn apart by a dragon, and his bones were now visible. His health had dropped to 10%. But Vespera wasn't happy. That last attack was all she had left. And still, she hadn't killed the flame demon Aslu. No wonder he was almost a noble of the abyss. We're done for. Vespera bit her lip and pushed herself up, looking up at Aiden. Run now. If you leave the battlefield and make sure the area is safe, you could just go back and leave the abyss. She was badly hurt, and Vivi couldn't fight anymore. The only one left was John, the troll warrior. But the troll warrior was strong in close combat, and weak when it came to running away. The flame demon Aslu, with only 10% health left, slowly broke free from the demon's domain. Aiden took a deep breath and canceled the demon's domain. He started drinking mana potions even faster. 10 seconds. Aiden said quickly. His face showed no fear at all. This demon had only 15% health left. Giving up now would be too painful. Vespera blinked. 10 seconds? Was this boy, about her age, hiding something strong? John. Vespera chose to trust Aiden. The troll warrior John closed his eyes, then opened them again. His normal eyes turned red, full of rage. Frenzy blood. John screamed, and his muscles swelled. He was already 1.8 meters tall, but now he grew to over 2 meters, like a small giant. He stood directly in front of the flame demon Aslu, blocking his path. The troll warrior skill, Frenzy Blood, could push his power to the limit, but with serious side effects. Weak human. D. The flame demon Aslu only saw Aiden. If it wasn't for him, those weak humans would already be in his stomach. 10 seconds? Even if I gave you an hour, could you kill me? The flame demon Aslu clenched his fist. A wildfire wrapped around his giant fist and smashed into John. The level gap was too big. John had no chance. The three geniuses from the Sovereign City had all lost their fighting power and were now lying on the ground, watching Aiden. Aiden exhaled lightly, looking at the approaching flame demon Aslu. He smiled. Chapter 27. Killing the Boss, Demon's Heart, and Legendary Gear. Vespera's eyes gradually filled with despair. She had definitely seen the smile on Aiden's face, but John only had 5 seconds before he was knocked down by the flame demon Aslu. Even if Aiden had some way to turn the situation around, it was probably too late by now. Vespera felt a little regret. She wished she hadn't entered the abyss for this adventure. Is everything going to end like this? Vespera slowly closed her eyes. At that moment, a loud thunderclap suddenly exploded. Boom! The deafening sound made Vespera's eyes snap open again. She looked in shock in the direction of the flame demon Aslu. A terrifying lightning element had quickly surrounded Aslu, who had only 10% health left. Boom, boom, boom. The thunder kept rolling, and the bright lightning pierced through the darkness of the abyss. Aiden's smile became even more obvious. He watched the flame demon Aslu's health drop quickly and started to get excited. Demon's Domain was a Starlight rank skill, but against a powerful demon like the flame demon Aslu, who had high resistance, it was nothing compared to the Diamond rank Thunder's Wrath. Thunder's Wrath, Diamond rank. summons terrifying lightning elements to attack all targets in a large area. Everyone except the caster takes heavy lightning damage. This damage is a special type of lightning damage, which can't be blocked by basic magic resistance. It also has a chance to deal true damage, directly reducing the target's health and causing triple lightning critical hits. The skill has a large attack range, is an area of effect attack, deals high damage, and uses a lot of mana. Special lightning damage, which can't be blocked by basic magic resistance. That's what will kill you. You're too stupid, Aiden said coldly. He watched the ugly face of the flame demon Oslu, which was now filled with fear. The demon was crying out in pain and trying to run away. Why? You said it would take 10 seconds. You stupid human, you tricked me. I won't accept this. The flame demon Oslu's eyes turned blood red with hatred and anger. He suddenly spat out a large amount of black blood and started chanting some ancient words. Vespera, who was lying at Aiden's feet, suddenly turned pale and shouted, "No good. It's a demon curse." Before she finished speaking, a black light shot out from the blood the flame demon Oslu had spat out. It exploded with a powerful force, knocking the three of them unconscious. That black light almost reached Aiden in the blink of an eye. Aiden's heart skipped a beat. He quickly looked at his body. There was no sign of anything wrong. He checked his log. At that moment, the massive body of the flame demon Oslu crashed to the ground, sending up a cloud of black mist. How much? 200 million experience points. Aiden's pupils slightly widened. Sure enough, as long as you killed a strong boss, especially in a level-up fight, it could trigger a 1,000 times bonus. But Aiden's experience was already high. His surprise only lasted a moment before he turned his attention elsewhere. Only 1,000 epic demons' hearts? No other drops at all. Aiden was confused. Iron Dragon dropped a lot of materials, like hearts, wings, and other parts. But the higher-level Abyss demons only dropped demons' hearts. Demon's Heart. Epic tier, top material, only obtainable by killing an epic-level Abyss demon. It's a material that all high-tier reclassers dream of. It increases the chance of upgrading your class when you reclass. Plus, it's widely used in forging, alchemy, and various magic arrays. It's incredibly valuable and is something every alchemist and blacksmith would give up everything for. Aiden's eyes suddenly widened. Demon's Heart was connected to upgrading your class? He was currently a Magic Apprentice, one of the lowest classes. Without the 1,000 times bonus system, he wouldn't have been able to level up at all. Kale, that arrogant guy, had his confidence because of the Dragonlight Guild and because he awakened as an epic paladin. Even if it's just the Demon's Heart, it's way more important than the stuff Iron Dragon drops. Aiden exhaled slowly. One Demon's Heart could increase the chance of class upgrade. What about 10? 100? 1,000? Even if 1,000 wasn't enough, once he got stronger, he could go back into the Abyss again, kill more noble demons, and get more Demon's Hearts. As long as he had the 1,000 times bonus system and some time to grow, it wouldn't be a problem to get epic, legendary, or even mythic-level Demon's Hearts. If I could use it forever, 1,000. No, 10,000 mythic-level Demon's Hearts. How high can my class rank go? Beyond Mythic? The most basic, lowest class is Iron rank, then Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, Starlight, Epic, Legendary, Mythic. Aiden's eyes lit up. Kale had always been proud because he was a paladin. If Aiden's class rank could go up to Epic, or even Legendary, he could completely crush Kale in every way. When that happens, Kale's face will definitely be super interesting. Oh, right, and the school's top girl, Ellera. I wonder if she'll still act so high and mighty. Other than the 1,000 epic Demon's Hearts, which were super rare, there were also 2 pieces of gear. The Abyss Flame Demon Staff, legendary tier staff, made from the rib of the Demon Duke Ethan. It got broken during a battle between demons and blood vampires. Then Ethan gave it to the Flame Demon Oslu. Without hesitation, Aiden immediately put on the Abyss Flame Demon Cloak. Even if the stats of this epic gear were exactly what he needed, defense and agility. Just the fact that it let him fly by using magic was something he really needed right now. It was a little sad that the Abyss Flame Demon staff was broken and needed to be repaired before it could be used. But still, it was a legendary rank item. Once it was fixed, it would be super strong. Legendary rank gear was rare even in the Sovereign City. Few reclassers had it. Right now, Aiden still had the Ire Dragon's magic staff, and he could still use it for a while. Great haul! Aiden slowly smiled. Sure enough, risk and reward always go together. If he had backed out just now, he wouldn't have gotten those 1,000 demons' hearts, the legendary staff, or the epic cloak. After checking all the loot, Aiden quickly walked over to where Vespera and the others were. First, he used a magic potion to get his body ready for battle. Then he cast a light healing spell. Not long after, Vespera, Vivi, and the troll warrior John slowly opened their eyes. Vespera looked at her body first, and when she saw she was still alive, she looked toward the huge body of the flame demon Oslu and stared at Aiden in shock. Dead? He was killed by you. Before Aiden could say anything, Vivi, who had just woken up, suddenly slapped her own face. Damn, that hurts. Not a dream. I really survived. Bad news. We need to leave fast. Vespera suddenly realized something, and her face turned pale with fear. Chapter 28. Surprise. Thanks from Vespera and the others. When she heard Vespera's words, Aiden looked back at the body of the flame demon Oslu not far away. Run? Hadn't the flame demon Oslu already been taken care of? Could it be? In the next moment, the darkness in the distance suddenly lit up with a bright red light. An invisible wave of force rushed toward them, filled with pressure that made their hearts stop. There's another boss? Aiden's pupils quickly widened, and his expression turned serious. Vespera quickly stood up, helping Vivi, and said quickly, "This is the territory of the demon Duke Ethan. The flame demon Oslu was just his servant. We have to leave quickly if we want to get back." Demon Duke. Aiden took a deep breath. The flame demon Oslu was level 40, and he was just a demon viscount. A demon Duke boss would be at least level 60. It was definitely something Aiden couldn't fight right now. Without hesitation, Aiden used the magic power in his body and activated the Abyss Flame Demon cloak he had just gotten. Immediately, the deep red cloak behind him quickly lifted Aiden into the air. Vespera, Vivi, and John's eyes lit up for a moment, but then they quickly darkened. John looked down at his injuries and said through gritted teeth, "You guys go ahead. I can't run fast." Vespera took a deep breath and looked at Aiden and said quickly, "Vivi is small and light. If you can you carry her?" The red light from the distance was getting closer and brighter. Aiden didn't hesitate. He said, "If it's too dangerous, I'll leave you behind. But right now I can try." Without Vespera, Vivi, and John's help, Aiden wouldn't have been able to kill the flame demon Oslu so easily like before. But he had killed the flame demon Oslu, which also helped Vespera and the others get out of danger for now. So Aiden wouldn't make a big sacrifice for 3 people he just met. He could only try his best. If it didn't work, he would leave without hesitation. When she heard Aiden's words, Vespera instantly sighed in relief. She looked at Vivi and whispered, "You have to survive. Tell my father to avenge me." Vivi tightly closed her lips, her eyes turned red, and she shook her head hard. Aiden didn't want to waste time. He controlled the Abyss Flame Demon cloak, flew up to where Vespera and Vivi were, and opened his arms. He wrapped his arms around Vivi's waist and picked the 2 of them up. Vespera and Vivi instantly widened their eyes and looked at Aiden's face in shock. Feeling the strong heartbeat, Vespera's face turned red, and she automatically lowered her head. Vivi, on the other hand, tightly hugged Aiden's arm. Her slim body touched Aiden's skin without any hesitation. She was a little afraid of heights, and she was already scared from the coming danger. Aiden looked down at Vespera and Vivi. He had to admit, both of them were beautiful girls. Their skin was smooth like tofu and smelled faintly sweet. He controlled the Abyss Flame Demon cloak and flew up to John. He directly said, "John, right? Grab my legs." John didn't hesitate. He didn't want to die. If there was a way to survive, he wouldn't give it up. Aiden, with two top-tier genius beauties in his arms and a troll warrior hanging from his legs, took a deep breath. Whoosh! With all his magic power poured into it, the Abyss Flame Demon cloak carried the group quickly through the air. At first, Aiden wasn't used to it and almost hit an obstacle. That scared Vivi and Vespera, who both held on tightly, almost choking him. The Abyss Flame Demon cloak was truly an epic item. It flew fast, almost as fast as a regular car. Even with Vespera, Vivi, and John added on, the speed didn't slow down at all. Soon, Aiden flew a long way with the three of them. He turned back and saw the red light in the distance suddenly stopped moving, as if something unexpected had happened. Then, everything went quiet. A huge, ghost-like blade, as big as a mountain, appeared in the sky. Boom! The ground shook, and a bunch of rocks flew from the distance. The strong shockwave made Aiden, who was still in the air, wobble. At just 18, she had awakened and was already level 15 as a demon god's messenger. But because of her small size, she looked a bit like a little girl. Aiden didn't say anything, just move his hand away. He was also embarrassed, but it was just an accident. But to be honest, both Vespera and Vivi were way better than Elora in looks and style. The White City was just a small, remote city. The head of the Reclasser Association was only 30-something levels. But Vespera and Vivi were geniuses from the Sovereign City. It made sense that they were stronger than Elora. We can rest a bit. Then we'll leave the Abyss right away, Vespera said, trying to stay calm. Vivi slowly got up from Aiden and quietly followed with her head down. Yeah, Mr. David fought for us. Now we just need to leave the Abyss, and nothing bad will happen. Aiden took a deep breath and looked into the distance. The huge red light column and the blade that had just appeared were far away from him. But the shockwave had almost made him fall from the sky. It was clear that Vespera's father was a real powerhouse. And from the way Vivi was relaxed, even the Demon Duke of the Abyss probably couldn't match Vespera's father. Aiden took a deep breath. If he had gotten caught in the fight between the Demon Duke Ethan and Vespera's father, he would probably already be dead. This kind of battle was way beyond what he could handle right now. At that moment, Vespera's voice suddenly sounded in Aiden's ear. Thank you so much. If it wasn't for you, we probably wouldn't have even made it to the time when my father entered the Abyss. We would have already been dead. The Wexley family from the Sovereign City owes you a favor. Before Aiden could even answer, Vivi added, You also saved me. If you need anything, you can come to the Taylor family in the military. Then John slowly pulled out a black card and said the same thing. The Hawthorne family's trading company in the Sovereign City is mine. If you need help in the future, just tell me. By the way, this is our Hawthorne family's black card. Please take it. Aiden was a bit surprised. Vespera was a genius from the Sovereign City and often appeared in the media. Aiden had some knowledge about the Wexley family. No need to say more. Vespera's father was the head of the Reclasser Association in the Sovereign City. As for Vivi, Aiden didn't remember much about her. And the Taylor family wasn't something he had heard of much. But the Empire's war god was named Taylor. His name was Taylor James, a legendary class. Then there was the Hawthorne family trading company that John mentioned. It seemed just as powerful. After all, the geniuses who could act together with Vespera and Vivi definitely had strong backgrounds. As for the black card John offered, Aiden didn't take it. He took a deep breath and said calmly, I saved you, and you helped me kill the boss. We're even. Vespera shook her head quickly. That's how it sounds, but you could have just left and not helped us at all. I'll remember this favor, even if you don't want it. Everything that had just happened was too tense. Vespera hadn't checked Aiden's basic info at all, so she asked, By the way, I still don't know your name. Chapter 29, Return to the White City, reunited with Kale and Elora in... The calm voice rang out slowly. Aiden wasn't particularly concerned about these geniuses from the Sovereign City. Now that he had the 1,000-fold critical hit system, it wouldn't be long before he became a third class, or even a stronger profession before the college testing. Aiden, I hope you don't mind me asking, what's your class and level? Those skills you used earlier were just too strong, John suddenly asked. He looked about the same age as Aiden, yet Aiden was so much stronger. It was one of those there's always someone stronger moments, which John understood well. But he was really curious now. Aiden's class had to be at least level 20, maybe even 30, right? Vespera and Vivi were also intrigued. Aiden replied indifferently. Just a regular Magic Apprentice. Magic Apprentice? John glanced at Vespera, puzzled, and whispered, "What level is a Magic Apprentice?" "Legendary." Vespera's eyes widened in shock, staring at Aiden in disbelief. She didn't even catch John's question until he coughed, and that was when she snapped out of her stunned silence. The most basic, weakest iron rank. John froze. Someone who could unleash the freezing skill of a level 40 Abyss Demon boss was an iron rank? Impossible. That powerful demon's domain and the thunderous final strike that killed the flame demon Oslu couldn't possibly be the work of an iron rank class. Aiden must be joking. It wasn't just John who thought this. Vespera and Vivi shared the same disbelief. Seeing the surprise and disbelief on their faces, Aiden felt a bit helpless. He really was just a basic iron rank Magic Apprentice. Of course, with 1,000 epic demons' hearts, he'd be able to level up his Magic Apprentice class later on. But that was a matter for the future. "I have other things to do. If fate allows, we'll meet again," Aiden said, not staying too long. He was eager to return to the White City and submit his class change task. But before that, he definitely had to use the epic demon's heart. Before Vespera and the others could react, Aiden focused his mind and chose to leave the abyss. Vivi, who had been watching Aiden closely, suddenly had a spark in her eyes. "Wait, I..." But before she could finish, Aiden's figure quickly vanished from sight. Vespera suddenly spoke up with a light tap on her head, regretting, "I forgot to ask him about Oslu's heart. Epic demons' hearts, they're hard to come by." Vespera suddenly closed her mouth. She noticed that Vivi was acting strange, as if she had seen something she couldn't accept, frozen in place, staring ahead. "What's wrong?" Vespera asked. Vivi continued to stand there for a moment, her red lips slowly parting as she spoke. Aiden wasn't joking. The Demon God's Messenger class can track precise information. He really is a Magic Apprentice, and only level 10. Immediately, both Vespera and John were stunned. He really is a Magic Apprentice, and only level 10? After a long pause, Vespera took a deep breath and said, "A level 10 Magic Apprentice could never have the power to kill a level 40 Abyss boss. He must be a once-in-a-lifetime genius from some hidden family. The Abyss Pass. We can use it to find more information on Aiden." Vespera decided it was necessary to track down Aiden in the real world. It wasn't just for the epic demon's heart. She also wanted to express her gratitude. She glanced down at her own well-shaped chest, and a faint blush flashed across her face. The White City Starlight Store. Lenara, lost in thought, stared blankly at the video on her phone, occasionally glancing up at a spot in the store, her expression changing. Sigh, he probably hasn't returned yet. After all, he used an Epic Realm Pass. Even high-level reclassers hesitate to challenge Epic Realms. I hope he didn't run into any danger. Lenara thought the genius from the top family, widely discussed on Douyin, might very well be Aiden. She had watched the video countless times, and that blurry figure really looked like Aiden. Just as Lenara was lost in thought, Aiden's figure slowly appeared. Her eyes widened instantly. She took him in from head to toe and saw no signs of injury. He looked like he'd just been out for a stroll. Wasn't he using an Epic Realm Pass? Could she have seen it wrong? "Mr. Aiden." Lenara started to speak, but before she could finish, she saw Aiden turn without a word and leave the store, heading toward the Reclasser Association. Her brows furrowed, and a wave of indescribable disappointment washed over her. After a moment's thought, Lenara clenched her teeth and called out to a colleague nearby, "I've got something to do. I need to step out." With that, she immediately followed toward the Reclasser Association. Aiden's mind was focused entirely on submitting his class change task, eager to level up quickly with the vast experience he had accumulated. However, as soon as Aiden entered the Reclasser Association's main hall, he stopped in his tracks. Not far ahead of him, two familiar figures appeared. Kale was speaking with unwavering confidence to Elora. Don't worry, there won't be any accidents. This time, I had my father send a level 30 expert to accompany us. There's no danger at all. In just a week, we'll be at level 10 and ready to take the class change quest. Kale's face was full of self-assurance. To win Elora's favor, he was fully prepared. Even though the higher the class rank, the more experience was needed to level up, it wasn't a big deal for him. The Dragonlight Guild was one of the 2 strongest guilds in the White City. He knew where his advantages lay, and besides, Elora definitely wanted to level up too. After all, the higher the level, the better the chances of getting a high score in the college testing. Elora hesitated, about to speak when she noticed Aiden standing nearby. She suddenly felt a bit flustered, her gaze quickly avoiding his. Hey, isn't that Magic Apprentice Aiden? What are you doing here at the Reclasser Association? Kale, following Elora's line of sight, saw the one person he truly disliked. Don't tell me you still haven't given up? With your Iron Rank class, any random monster out in the wild could kill you. Here's an idea. I'm about to take Honey here to level up. If you beg me, I might show some mercy and let you tag along behind us. Kale grinned smugly. To see his former rival reduced to this, he couldn't help but feel satisfied. As for if Aiden begged him, he had no intention of sharing any experience. The most he'd do was let Aiden watch him and Elora's relationship grow. In the face of Kale's provocation, Aiden merely smiled faintly before speaking. Thanks for your concern. I'm just curious, though, will something happen to your Dragonlight Guild in the near future that causes it to fall apart? Kale burst into laughter. Fall apart? Ha ha ha. You're ridiculous, Aiden. Let me tell you the truth. Dragonlight Guild has come across a huge development opportunity. We've already paid enough deposits and prepayments. Soon enough, the name of Dragonlight Guild will spread throughout all of Ironvale. After Kale finished speaking, he expected Aiden to be disheartened, maybe even fearful. But instead, he saw a faint trace of mockery on Aiden's face, as if Aiden were laughing at him for dreaming too big. At that moment, Elora took a deep breath and walked up to Aiden. I've already given you plenty of chances, but you didn't appreciate them. Aiden, in this world, strength is the only thing that truly matters. Did you suddenly show up at the Reclasser Association because you want to win me back? It's too late. I've made up my mind. I'm going to accept Kale's invitation and level up with him in the wild. Elora stared intently at Aiden's face, looking for any sign of regret or reluctance. But no matter how she looked, Aiden's expression remained unusually calm. Your decision has nothing to do with me. Don't be so full of yourself. I'm here to submit my class change quest, Aiden replied flatly. Kale and Elora froze for a moment. Submit the class change quest? Only after reaching level 10 could one take the first class change quest. Was Aiden already level 10? How could that be? A Magic Apprentice with Iron Rank. Wasn't it supposed to be hard to level up? Under Kale and Elora's gaze, Aiden turned and walked toward the beautiful staff member at the Reclasser Association. Chapter 30. Kale and Elora's shock. President Lucian's stupefaction. Hello, I'm here to submit my class change quest. Tina, in charge of the class change quests, heard the familiar voice. Without thinking, she quickly looked up and toward the source. Aiden, sir, have you already completed the class change quest? Tina couldn't help but ask, her voice cautious. So fast. Aiden had just taken the class change quest yesterday, and now, less than a day later, it was already completed. She had never seen speed like this before. Come on, stop pretending, Aiden. There's no way your level could have increased that quickly. Kale suddenly shouted. An Iron Rank Magic Apprentice. How could you possibly level up to 10 in such a short amount of time and complete the class change quest? As he spoke, Kale walked up to the front desk, confidently turning to Tina. Miss, don't mind this lunatic. He's probably gone a little crazy, thinking he's some kind of genius. A Magic Apprentice, a genius? Ridiculous. Elora also stepped forward, staring seriously at Aiden's face. Her eyes showed confusion and disappointment as she said, Aiden, are you really trying to get my attention this way? Aiden took a deep breath. Well, had he ever tried to get Elora's attention? This guy was really unbearable. Just then, Tina couldn't stand it anymore. She quickly shot Aiden a glance, then turned to Kale and Elora. "Excuse me, but this is the Reclasser Association. Please keep the noise down and don't disturb others." Most importantly, she couldn't let anything happen to Aiden. Tina knew how important Aiden was to the president. She couldn't afford to make an enemy of him. "Please hold on. I need to check your class change quest." "Wait, your quest? How could it be?" Tina's voice suddenly tightened, and she froze. Kale saw the change in Tina's expression and was even more convinced that Aiden was faking it. He squinted, trying to check Aiden's basic info, but all he saw were question marks. How is this possible? Aiden's level should definitely be lower than mine. Kale suddenly had a bad feeling. Sure enough, the next words out of Tina's mouth left him utterly stunned. "Aiden, sir, your quest difficulty far exceeds that of other reclassers. The system shows you need to enter the Abyss and defeat a level 10 Abyss boss." Tina explained, her throat tightening as she struggled to swallow. "The Abyss. It's the Abyss. What kind of genius needs to enter the Abyss to complete a class change quest and kill a boss?" As expected, the president's guess was right. Aiden was definitely a top-tier genius from an extraordinary family. Kale and Elora's eyes went wide in shock, and they unconsciously moved closer to Tina, hoping to see if the system had made a mistake. Aiden was already level 10, and his class change quest required him to face such a terrifyingly difficult challenge. "I know the details of the quest, and it's already complete," Aiden said, his voice calm and unshaken. Not just a level 10 Abyss boss, he had already killed a level 40 Abyss boss. If he said that out loud, no one would believe him. Tina nodded furiously, her eyes filled with disbelief as she looked at Aiden. "Please wait. I need to make some adjustments on my end, upgrade your information, and apply for your badge. Once you absorb it, you'll be able to continue leveling up. Just so you know, if you have any items that can boost your class rank, you should use them before absorbing the badge." Aiden nodded. He still had the Epic Demon's Heart to use. No way. This has to be a system error." Suddenly, Elora, who had been silent, spoke up. She was only level 2, and Aiden was already level 10, having completed the class change quest that involved killing a level 10 Abyss boss. Wasn't he supposed to be nothing but a useless failure? Except for his looks? He was supposed to be her lapdog. How could this happen? Elora couldn't accept it. As the school's queen and holder of a diamond rank profession, she should be in control of Aiden. This has to be a system error. "Double check," Elora shouted at Tina. Tina furrowed her brow but didn't respond. Elora may be a genius, but Aiden was an absolute prodigy from a top-tier family. "Aiden, sir, your badge is ready," Tina said respectfully, offering the badge to Aiden with both hands. Aiden glanced at it briefly, but didn't immediately absorb it. Instead, he asked, "Is your president here?" Tina immediately answered, "The president is out on business, but he specifically instructed that if you need him, no matter the reason, he will come back right away." "Then have him come back," Aiden said flatly. He turned and walked toward Elora and Kale, frowning. "Please step aside. I have things to do. I don't have time to play games with you here." Elora's body trembled, her legs giving out as she almost collapsed to the ground. Kale clenched his fists tightly, gritting his teeth as he said, "What does it matter if you level up fast with a useless class? Don't talk about being the same level. If I just reach level 6 or 7, I could still crush you. Dragonlight Guild will get stronger soon. Even if you're a level 30 class, I'll make you wish you were never born." Aiden suddenly smiled. Kale's words had reminded him that he could have Lucian temporarily hold back the deposit and advance payment for Dragonlight Guild. For any guild or business, cash flow was absolutely crucial. If there were problems with the cash flow, the whole guild would face massive trouble. So, Aiden smiled and said, "Thanks for the reminder. As a thank you, you'll soon have a big surprise." With that, he didn't wait to see if Kale understood, and followed Tina to Lucian's office. After Aiden left, Elora gritted her teeth, watching his retreating figure, and muttered under her breath, "I'm a diamond rank classer. My potential is stronger than yours. You're just ahead for now. Wait, Aiden. Soon, you'll regret this. I'm so much better than you." You're not worthy of me. Only a genius reclasser from the Sovereign City can truly be my boyfriend. Kale was so furious that he didn't even hear Ellara's whispered words. The joy of going to level up together in the wild with Ellara had completely vanished. No matter how he tried, he couldn't understand how Aiden had managed to reach this point. Meanwhile, in the crowd, Lenara gently touched her beautiful face. The abyss. The epic pass Aiden had used was for the extremely dangerous abyss. Not only had he completed the quest, but he also didn't have a scratch on him. A genius from a top-tier family like this. If I can't become his lover, at least maintaining some kind of close relationship with him would be incredibly rare. No, I have to find a way to get closer to him, Lenara thought to herself. Inside Lucien's office, Tina quietly observed Aiden, who was resting on the sofa. She couldn't help but feel a little captivated. No wonder he was the kind of man who could defeat a boss in the abyss. She thought for a moment, then, with a hint of shyness, tugged at the hem of her short skirt, not down, but up, revealing her long, slender legs, clad in black stockings. She then walked gently over to Aiden, poured him a cup of tea, and quietly stepped out. Aiden opened his eyes, fully aware of every movement Tina made. Thanks to all the powerful equipment and items, his spirit had been enhanced to an extreme degree, allowing him to sense every subtle change in his surroundings. Lucien should be back in a bit. Might as well use the demon's heart first, he thought. Aiden pulled out an epic demon's heart, but as soon as he held it, he found himself unsure. How exactly was he supposed to use this? Was he supposed to swallow it? Frowning, Aiden was about to consider it further when he heard footsteps outside. Lucien gently knocked on the door, as though Aiden were the one in charge of the office. "Aiden, sir, may I come in?" Lucien's voice came from outside. Aiden glanced at the demon's heart in his hand, but didn't put it back in his storage space. He decided to ask Lucien. After all, he was the president of the Reclasser Association and should know something about it. "Come in," Aiden said, and as soon as he finished speaking, Lucien pushed open the door. The smile on Lucien's face froze instantly. His eyes widened, and he stared at the demon's heart in Aiden's hand, completely stunned. Chapter 31. Using the demon's heart, the trouble for Dragonlight Guild. As the chairman of the White City Reclasser Association, Lucien was one of the most experienced professionals in the small city of the White City. However, when he saw the epic demon's heart in Aiden's hand, he was completely shocked. Lucien's lips trembled, and his eyes were only on that precious heart. He almost tripped over the sofa beside him. Aiden saw Lucien's reaction and said curiously, "It's just a demon's heart. Why are you so excited?" "Excited? This is an epic demon's heart." Lucien's voice trembled, and he struggled to stop himself from taking the demon's heart from Aiden's hand. He took a deep breath and sat on the sofa, but his eyes never left Aiden's hand. The abyss is bigger than millions of Earths. Even the territory of the demons in the abyss, we have not yet fully understood its shape. Normally, to kill an epic-level demon from the abyss, a great price must be paid. Especially for demons that reach the Viscount rank, they will release a curse before they die. A reclasser who carries a demon's curse will face direct pursuit by demon masters if they enter the demon territory in the abyss again. At this point, Aiden suddenly understood. For example, he had killed the flame demon Oslu and was cursed by a demon. Now, if he went back to the abyss, all the Arcanum cities nearby would chase and kill him. Normally, a high-level reclasser would not choose to kill a noble demon of Viscount rank or higher unless it was absolutely necessary. Each epic demon's heart meant that a high-level reclasser was now carrying a demon's curse. No wonder Lucien reacted that way when he saw the demon's heart in Aiden's hand. It seemed that the value of the demon's heart was even higher than Aiden had thought. Of course, this only applied to other reclassers. After all, Aiden now had a total of 1,000 epic demon's hearts on him. What's the best way to use this thing? Aiden asked. Lucien tried to pull his eyes away. In his mind, only someone like Aiden from a top-tier family could have such a precious epic demon's heart. Lucien answered, "If you just eat it, you'll lose some power. Usually, You need to find a reclasser with a profession like to make it into a professional tier enhancement potion. As soon as he finished speaking, Aiden immediately opened his mouth and took a bite of the epic demon's heart. It was sour with a little sweetness. It melted in his mouth like a ripe fruit. It wasn't as bad as he had expected. After a few bites, Aiden saw a message appear before his eyes. When Aiden saw the 45.05% chance, he was taken aback. So if he didn't use this epic demon's heart, the chance of improving from Magic Apprentice to Iron Rank Professional tier was only 0.05%. That was incredibly low. Thankfully, he had the 10,000 times critical hit system. Such a waste, Mr. Aiden. This is an epic demon's heart. You should make it into a potion first, then use it, so you can get the full effect. Lucien quickly said, looking very upset. Any reclasser who saw this would have the same expression. There was no other reason. Epic demon's hearts were just too precious and too rare. Then, just after Lucien finished speaking, Aiden's next action completely shut him up. He took out another epic demon's heart and started biting into it again. Lucien's mouth dropped open, and he went into a daze. It's not just one demon's heart after all. No wonder Aiden's expression had always been so calm, showing no sign of excitement at all. This was the depth of a top-tier family, wasn't it? Such a precious, epic demon's heart, and he had two of them. As soon as Lucien had this thought in his mind, he saw Aiden take out a third epic demon's heart. He was completely stunned. It was like seeing someone's dream car, only for it to be just a toy to a rich second-generation kid. Lucien couldn't help but close his eyes. If he had just one epic demon's heart, he was pretty sure he could raise his profession from Diamond rank to Starlight rank in his next class change. Improving the professional tier was something every reclasser dreamed of. By the way, if you eat too much of this stuff, is there any bad effect? Aiden stopped and asked. Lucien shook his head. Probably not. After all, almost no one could eat it like you, as if it were fruit. Aiden looked satisfied as the probability of improving his professional tier reached 100%. He thought for a moment and decided to go to a hotel outside to absorb the profession badge. Plus, he needed to rest a bit. But before that, he still needed to talk to Lucien about some things. Aiden briefly explained the problem with the Dragonlight Guild. He had thought there might be some trouble, but Lucien didn't hesitate at all. He just nodded and agreed. However, Mr. Aiden, can I ask, how did the Dragonlight Guild get on your bad side? They'll definitely come to your place to ask for an explanation. Lucien asked carefully. Aiden just mentioned the name Kale. Lucien suddenly understood. Kale's reputation was really bad. He relied on being an epic reclasser paladin in the Dragonlight Guild, acting very arrogant. It wasn't a big deal to annoy other people in the White City. But this time, he had messed with Mr. Aiden. That was just asking for trouble. As Lucien was thinking this, he heard Aiden say, "Thanks. Once everything is settled, I'll give you one of the epic demon's hearts as a gift." Lucien suddenly looked up, his eyes wide open. There's more? How many epic demon's hearts does Mr. Aiden even have? Lucien swallowed hard and said seriously, "As long as I'm here, the Dragonlight Guild won't get a single penny back. In the White City, whoever dares to offend Mr. Aiden becomes my enemy." Aiden nodded in satisfaction. Before the college testing, he would still be in the White City. With Lucien's help, he could avoid a lot of unnecessary trouble. One epic demon's heart? He had so many, he wouldn't even feel it if he lost a few. As Aiden was about to reach the door, he suddenly remembered something and slapped his forehead. Oh, one more thing. I killed a national class red flag boss in the Abyss. Its name was the Flame Demon Oslu. The log said I need to go to the headquarters of the Sovereign City Reclasser Association to claim the reward. It's too troublesome. As soon as he finished speaking, Lucien, who hadn't fully calmed down yet, almost fell off the sofa. National class red flag boss? National class? At the very least, it had to be level 40 to be put on the national wanted list. Lucien turned away from Aiden, pinched his face hard, and then turned around and said, "I'll handle that too. The mayor is in the Sovereign City. I can have him collect it for you. Please go slowly." Lucien watched Aiden's back disappearing, and his lips slowly curled into a smile. He couldn't help but laugh out loud. Ha ha! Epic Demon's Heart. The reward from a national-class red flag boss. Ha ha! Now I can not only improve my professional tier, but I might even get transferred to a bigger place. Aiden was a reclasser from the White City. Killing a national-class red flag boss was a big deal. As the head of the White City Reclasser Association, he could also get some credit from it. Of course, the mayor of the White City could too. Lucien could already imagine how excited the mayor, Randy, would be after hearing the news. But before that, he still needed to take care of the things Aiden had asked him to do. Lucien picked up the phone, about to call the leader of Dragonlight Guild, when he suddenly noticed someone was calling him. Lucien's expression turned serious as he answered the phone, nodding repeatedly. After a while, the call ended, and he finally sighed in relief. He muttered to himself, "The Abyss Pass, and the vice president of the Sovereign City Reclasser Association is coming to the White City. It's probably related to Mr. Aiden. They'll need to prepare an early welcome dinner." Lucien didn't waste any time. He called the leader of Dragonlight Guild, Ronald. "Guildmaster Lucien, have there been any updates on the materials?" Ronald's anxious voice came through the phone. Lucien spoke coldly. "Updates? Ronald, your son messed with someone he shouldn't have. You won't get any of the Iron Dragon materials at all." Chapter 32. Kale's Confusion, Professional Tier Upgrade, and Special Skills. Aiden left of the White City Reclasser Association. Upgrading his professional tier was extremely important for a reclasser, and he couldn't be disturbed. He directly went to the front of the highest-level hotel in the White City. Just as he was about to enter and ask for a presidential suite, he saw Kale running nervously down the street toward the Dragonlight Guild. Is Lucien moving that fast? Aiden thought to himself. Sure enough, money could move even ghosts, especially when it came to something as rare as an epic demon's heart. Looking at Kale's back, Aiden smiled lightly. This was just the beginning. What would happen when Kale found out his guild was ruined, and even his proud, epic paladin profession was crushed by a Magic Apprentice? We break down? Aiden was really looking forward to that. Dragonlight Guild. In the guild hall, Ronald was full of rage, taking deep breaths to try to control his anger. At that moment, Kale rushed in a hurry, looking lost. "Father, what's going on? What happened?" Kale had just walked with Elora, who was in a bad mood, into the wilderness, and hadn't even started leveling up when his father called him back. His father's voice on the phone was extremely angry, even directly cursing him and telling him to come back quickly. "What's going on? How can you still have the face to ask me?" Ronald suddenly stood up and walked straight to Kale. Smack! A clear slap echoed. Kale's face immediately swelled up. He covered his face, his eyes full of confusion and surprise. "I've told you so many times not to provoke people you shouldn't provoke. Now look what you've done. The guild's money is all gone, and the diamond rank materials are gone too. Tell me, what did you do?" Ronald couldn't help but raise his hand again, and another slap landed on Kale. Kale stepped back in fear and fell down on the ground, explaining. "Father, I didn't provoke anyone. I really don't know what's going on. Believe me, believe me." Ronald gritted his teeth and kicked Kale in the stomach, yelling, "How can I believe you? The deposit and the prepayment can't be recovered, and the whole guild is in trouble. Do you know how important these materials were?" Kale was so upset he almost started crying. He really didn't understand why his actions had caused the guild to lose the materials, even making the deposit and prepayment get stuck. In recent days, he had been trying his best to chase after Elora. He hadn't done anything else. "Don't hit me, Father, don't hit me. The most important thing right now is to find a way to solve this problem," Kale quickly shouted. Ronald took a few deep breaths, trying to calm his anger. He said sharply, "Lucien gave me a tip. Soon, the vice president of the Sovereign City Reclasser Association will come to the White City, along with the real geniuses of the Sovereign City. According to past habits, the mayor and Lucien will hold a welcome banquet. They'll invite all the important people in the White City, the top students, and some excellent teachers. The owner of the diamond materials will definitely be there. You have to apologize to them properly, or the guild will be finished." Kale nodded frantically. He was scared that his father might start hitting him again. As for who exactly and why, he had no idea. After a while, Ronald finally reached out and helped Kale up. He said, "This is a chance. The geniuses from the sovereign city all come from powerful backgrounds. If you can get close to them, it will also help the guild. As for Elora, she's just okay in this small city of the White City. Compared to the real geniuses from the sovereign city, she's nothing." Kale shook his head slightly, about to say something, but when he saw the look in Ronald's eyes, he shut his mouth immediately. "Tomorrow night, the people from the sovereign city should arrive. When you see the real geniuses, you'll realize I was right. If you still don't believe me, I can let you bring Elora along too," Ronald said slowly. In the best hotel in the White City, in a presidential suite that cost 100,000 gold per night. Aiden took a deep breath, pulled out his profession badge, and without hesitation, chose to absorb it. The badge immediately turned into a cool energy flowing into his mind. Dark Mage? Aiden couldn't help but frown. In the human world, there were very few dark classes. Most of them were members of evil organizations. For example, the robbery group Aiden met in the wild once. They mentioned the Evil Demons Guild, which was an extreme evil organization. If he changed to a dark mage, he might be rejected by some reclasser universities. As for the platinum rank darkness mastery, it wasn't that valuable to him. Skills books would come out in plenty later. Aiden took a deep breath and looked at the second option. Aiden's eyes lit up. Platinum rank Magic Apprentice? That suited him just fine. He had the 10,000 times critical hit system. He would definitely get more and better demons' hearts in the future. There was no need to worry about his professional tier. But this apprentice's heart made Aiden think of a line. A real master always keeps the heart of an apprentice. He didn't hesitate at all and chose the second option. A bright white light flashed, and his status panel changed immediately. Aiden occupation, Magic Apprentice tier, Platinum rank level, level 10, HP, 100 points, 4 main attributes, Strength 301 points, Constitution 201 points, Spirit 311 points, Agility 201 point skills, Apprentice's Heart, Light Healing Spell, Ultimate Frost. Without the equipment bonuses, Aiden's stats were no longer so extreme. This is because I used 100 enhancement gems before. Otherwise, my total 4 stats would only be around 14 points. Aiden muttered to himself. The difference between 14 and 1014 was huge. 4 other iron rank professions, they were just the lowest level, useless jobs for high-tier players. But Aiden was different. His real strength was the 10,000 times critical hit system. Aiden focused on his special skill, Apprentice's Heart. Apprentice's Heart, special skill. It can level up as your professional tier increases. You can spend experience points to randomly get 0-10 points of stats. The more experience you spend, the higher the chance of getting a high stat bonus. Minimum cost is 10,000 experience points. Shit, Aiden instinctively cursed. This is a god skill. For other players, the Apprentice's Heart might not be useful at all. Especially for higher tier players, they needed so much experience to level up that they had no extra experience to use. But Aiden was different. He had the 10,000 times critical hit system. Experience points were something he had already collected in the hundreds of millions. Apprentice's Heart was a godlike skill for Aiden, even more powerful than some mythic skills. Aiden took a deep breath and tried to calm himself. He noticed something, and what did that mean? No guarantee at all. This was just like a lottery, completely based on luck. If he was unlucky, he might spend tens of thousands of experience and only get 1 or 2 points, even 0. But if he was lucky, 10,000 experience could give him 10 points. For a reclasser, besides the 4 basic stats, there were hidden stats like charm, luck, and so on. But the game didn't show them, and no one could say exactly how much they were. Aiden thought for a moment. He didn't think he was that unlucky. He decided to try it out. After all, he had so much experience, and it wouldn't be a big loss. He started with 1 million experience points. Aiden thought the word, and the 1 million experience points disappeared. The special skill apprentice's heart activated. A bad feeling came over Aiden. Damn, this is so unfair. Aiden said, the second time he cursed in a short time. This was 1 million experience points. He wasn't going to give up. He thought that raising his platinum rank Magic Apprentice to level 20 wouldn't take too much experience. This time, he went all in with 10 million experience. The apprentice's heart skill activated again. Aiden's heart jumped. He felt like luck was finally on his side. Chapter 33. Meeting May, the second class change mission. The goddess of luck is smiling. Aiden looked at the log and couldn't help his heart beating faster. His feeling was right. A total of 640 points of stats, which means he got an average of 6.4 points per 10,000 experience points. It was just 10 million experience points. For Aiden, who had accumulated hundreds of millions of experience points, it was nothing. Keep going. Aiden's eyes were full of the desire to become stronger. Before completing his first class change mission, the lowest level Magic Apprentice could only gain 1 point of stats per level. But for an epic class, it was 100 points of stats. And for legendary and mythic classes, it was even more. The appearance of the divine skill apprentice's heart could allow him to completely crush other high-tier classes in terms of stats. As more and more experience points were used, Aiden's excited expression slowly disappeared. Did that one time use up all my luck? The most ridiculous time was when the log showed that Aiden had used 10 million experience points, but only got 3 strength, 5 constitution, and 2 agility. That was 10 million experience points. Aiden took a deep breath. He only had 100 million experience points left now, and he had used all the rest to use Apprentice's heart. 4 attributes: Strength 801 points, Constitution 611 points, Spirit 425 points, Agility 433 points. The total of the 4 attributes had already reached a terrifying 2,270 points. It could be said that even Kale, who had an epic class paladin, would only have half of that if he reached level 10. Unfortunately, today's luck was not so good. Otherwise, he would have gotten even more stats from using Apprentice's heart. Aiden slowly exhaled. He was fairly satisfied with the result. 801 strength, 611 constitution. Am I still a Magic Apprentice? I still have 100 million experience. I should level up to level 20. Without any hesitation, Aiden used part of his experience points and started to level up his platinum rank Magic Apprentice. It only took less than a minute, and a Magic Apprentice's level had already reached level 20. After all, Ellera, who was now a diamond rank flame mage, only had 2 levels. The thought of Ellera's arrogant attitude made Aiden feel annoyed. He started thinking about the reclasser college testing. With his 10,000x critical hit system, he naturally had to go to the best university. An advanced adventurer at level 20 would definitely do very well in the college testing. But just being good wasn't enough for Aiden. He wanted to be the strongest. He had planned to take a break, but without any hesitation, he left the hotel and went back to the White City Reclasser Association to get his second class change mission. There was less than a month until the college testing, and he couldn't afford to be lazy. As he just reached the door, Aiden heard a voice that sounded familiar. It was his old teacher, May. You must have made a mistake. I haven't collected my teaching reward this month. How could it be gone? May shouted loudly. Tina took a deep breath and smiled as she explained. Ms. May, it's probably the system from the city government that changed. Please wait a moment. I'll check it. May frowned and said directly, Wait, my time is very valuable. Do you know that Kale with an epic class and Ellera with a diamond rank are my students? The city government staff even invited me to a big dinner tomorrow. Check quickly, or I'll complain about you. After a while, Tina whispered something, and May's face immediately lit up with excitement. She had just turned around to leave when she saw Aiden. May's smile disappeared instantly, and she looked very annoyed. She said, Are you regretting it? Wanting to come back and get your student status back? I'll report you. Aiden, you're the worst student I've ever had. You don't respect your teachers, and you never correct your mistakes. You'll never be anything but a low-level person all your life. Hearing this, Tina was stunned and instinctively covered her mouth. Who could be so bold to talk to Mr. Aiden like that? Even the chairman Lucien was very respectful to Mr. Aiden. Tina was afraid Aiden would get angry, so she quickly tried to stop May. But as she just stepped out from the front desk, she heard Aiden's voice. Unfair, too proud, people like you are beyond help. Aiden knew Maze and wouldn't be good. The higher she'd jump now, the harder she'd fall later. Aiden simply walked past May and stood in front of Tina. Before he could say anything, he heard May's annoying voice again. What's wrong? Did I hit a nerve? You don't even know. I'm about to get promoted. Aiden couldn't help but turn back to look at May. The killer aura from killing countless monsters in the abyss surrounded him. May turned pale immediately, as if she was being stared at by a terrifying beast. Without hesitation, she shut her mouth and quickly walked away from the reclasser association. Tina watched Aiden's face carefully, making sure he wasn't upset before finally speaking. Mr. Aiden, you really are extraordinary. If it were me, I would have already slapped her. Aiden pulled at the corner of his mouth. Anyone could tell that Tina was just flattering him. By the way, May probably isn't getting promoted. Tina suddenly remembered something and said quickly. Aiden didn't care about that. As long as he showed enough potential, someone would deal with May. He just said, I'm here to claim the class change mission. Tina didn't even think twice before replying. Okay, wait, you already completed the class change mission, didn't you? Suddenly, Tina realized something and her eyes widened in shock. She stared at Aiden and asked slowly, Are you here to claim the second class change mission? Aiden nodded calmly. For other adventurers, experience was priceless. But for him, getting a lot of experience was as easy as drinking water. Tina couldn't help but think in her heart. It's been such a short time. Mr. Aiden is already level 20. It's true, the genius from top families is beyond my understanding. Just like last time, she quickly prepared everything. Aiden slowly crushed the crystal ball, and the prompt screen started to jump wildly. The moment Aiden saw the class change mission, he had a bad feeling in his heart. Sure enough, this mission was even harder than others, and it also required him to enter the abyss. The target had gone from a general abyss boss to a noble demon boss. But the problem was, he still had a demon curse on him. If he entered the abyss, it would attract the attack of all nearby demons. If he was unlucky and ended up near a high-level demon boss, he would be in big trouble. Aiden thought to himself, is it because I leveled up too fast? Why is it getting harder each time? Maybe I should slow down my leveling in the future. Of course, he would prefer the class change mission to be easier. That way, he could save a lot of time and energy. As Aiden was thinking about whether to first try to remove the demon curse before entering the abyss to finish the mission, a hurried figure ran toward him quickly. Artificer Lysander was covered in black ash, his hair was messy, and his eyes were red. He stared at Aiden and shouted, Mr. Aiden, I did it. I made it. I forged an epic level equipment. Chapter 34. Lysander's teacher. The dinner party starts. Aiden, why are you here? Aiden paused for a moment, then quickly realized. He had given Lysander 1,000 Iron Dragon materials earlier. Had he really finished forging it so quickly? Aiden quickly grabbed Lysander's shaking shoulders and said in a calm voice, Stay calm. Lysander slowly stopped shouting and took a deep breath. The joy and excitement of finally achieving a dream he had wanted for years was something most people couldn't understand. As an artificer, forging high-quality equipment was his greatest dream. Now it was finally real. Lysander's eyes were red, and he sniffed hard, almost crying. This isn't the place to talk. Aiden had just started to speak when Tina came out from the front desk and led them into a special room for important guests. Lysander couldn't hold back anymore. He grabbed Aiden's arm, tears streaming down his face as he cried, Mr. Aiden, you are my savior. I never thought I would one day really be able to forge an epic level equipment. You don't know, I made some mistakes before. I was too ashamed to face my teacher, so I left the sovereign city and came to the White City. Now, after forging this epic equipment, I finally have a chance to prove myself again. Lysander kept talking about his past, and Aiden didn't interrupt. He knew that at this moment, Lysander needed someone to listen. After a while, Lysander finally stopped crying. He looked a bit embarrassed and lowered his head, then pulled out a piece of equipment that glowed brightly from his storage space. Iron Dragon wings, Epic, an epic flying equipment forged by Red Flame artisan Lysander. Agility plus 1,800, Constitution plus 1,500, extra health plus 10,000. Physical defense increased by 25%, consumes magic power, allows for a burst sprint. The speed and distance of the sprint depend on how much magic power is used. When flying normally, it consumes very little magic power, making it suitable for long-distance and long-duration flights. The moment Aiden saw the equipment info, his eyes lit up. Its base stats weren't as good as the Abyss Flame Demon Cloak, but it had extra health and could do a burst sprint. Aiden currently lacked mobility skills. For a mage or any other range class, getting close to the enemy meant big danger. This epic equipment that Lysander made was just what he needed to fix some weaknesses. Good, really good. Aiden didn't hold back from praising him. Of course, for him, an epic item wasn't something to get overly excited about. But Lysander, seeing this, had an idea in his heart. An epic item was basically a national treasure. If it were outside, people would definitely be envious and fight over it. But now he saw Aiden's face, and there was no obvious excitement. That meant that to Aiden, an epic item wasn't anything special. Sure enough, a genius from a top family was different. If it were another reclasser, they would probably be jumping for joy right now. Lysander slowly said, "Mr. Aiden, there are still 33 Iron Dragon materials left that I didn't use." Aiden waved his hand and said, "No need to give them back. You can handle them yourself." For Aiden, investing in Lysander, the Red Flame Artisan, was clearly a smart move. If he could make the first epic item, he could make the second, third, and maybe even a legendary one in the future. 30 or so Iron Dragon materials. Giving them to Lysander was no problem at all. Oh, by the way, I have an item that needs repair. Aiden suddenly remembered the staff that dropped from the flame demon Oslu he killed. Lysander was full of confidence. He patted his chest and said, "Fixing equipment, leave it to me. I can already make epic items, so what else is there?" Before he could finish speaking, Lysander was completely stunned. He saw Aiden's hand suddenly holding a much stronger piece of equipment. Legendary. It had to be a legendary ranked item. Oh my god. This small city of the White City had actually produced a legendary ranked item, even if it was broken. That was already unbelievable. Lysander's mouth trembled, and his hand shook badly. Any legendary ranked item was a strategic level weapon. Aye, Mr. Aiden, you hold it for me. I'm afraid I might drop it by accident. Lysander pulled his hand back. Aiden couldn't help but smile. A legendary ranked staff couldn't be that fragile. Lysander was a master artificer. He should know that. He was just too nervous. Aiden simply placed the Abyss the Flame Demon Staff into Lysander's hands. Lysander immediately stiffened. His eyes widened as he stared at the staff in his hands, murmuring to himself, "Perfect. Mystical. It's like a work of art. Mr. Aiden, I'm not good enough, but I can contact my teacher and have him come to the White City." Lysander looked at the staff in his hands seriously. Fixing a legendary ranked item was a rare chance for his teacher. "My teacher is the strongest artificer in the Sovereign City. Even the Empress herself treats him with respect." When he mentioned his teacher, Lysander's expression was clearly proud. Aiden smiled lightly. His goal had already been achieved. After all, no matter how you looked at it, Lysander's teacher was definitely stronger than Lysander. "By the way, do you know how to remove the Abyss Demon's curse?" Aiden suddenly asked. Lysander looked at him for a moment, confused, and replied, "The Reclasser Association in the Sovereign City has a way to deal with it." "Mr. Aiden, are you cursed?" "I killed a level 40 Abyss Demon boss." Aiden explained a little. Suddenly, Lysander's pupils widened. He almost dropped the legendary staff in his hand. "I'll ask my teacher. Just wait a moment." Lysander took a deep breath, trying to calm himself down. True genius really was terrifying. He took out his phone, dialed a number, whispered a few words, and then hung up. "Mr. Aiden, my teacher can arrive tomorrow night. He can meet you at the dinner party," Lysander said. "A dinner party?" Aiden frowned. He thought he had heard something about it from May. "You don't know? What is Lucian thinking?" Lysander explained about the dinner party and added, The vice president of the Sovereign City Reclasser Association will be there too. You can ask him about the demon curse then. Aiden nodded. He took the staff back from Lysander and left the Reclasser Association, going back to the hotel. It was getting late, and he was really tired. He needed a rest. The next morning, Aiden first went to Starlight's store to buy a suitable pet. But unfortunately, even though there were pets there, their quality was too low. None of them were what he wanted. Was it just his imagination? The staff member, named Lenara, looked at him in a strange way. Aiden spent the whole morning looking for the right pet. He really needed a good frontline tank. The White City was too small. He spent a lot of time, but found nothing. By the evening, the whole city became lively. Many people in fancy clothes with elegant manners gathered in front of the most luxurious hotel. The leader of Dragonlight Guild, Ronald, stood with Kale and Elora in front of the crowd, waiting quietly. Kale looked at Elora with pride and said, "This is the world of the upper class. Today, the genius from the Sovereign City and the vice president of the Sovereign City Reclasser Association are coming. Good thing you didn't go with Aiden. If you followed him, you would never have a chance to come to this dinner." Elora said nothing, but fidgeted with her evening dress awkwardly. The black shoulder-length evening dress added a touch of elegance to her, making her look extremely beautiful. Ronald glanced back at Kale and felt a little disappointed. Elora was indeed pretty, but compared to the geniuses from the Sovereign City, she was nothing. At the same time, the leader of the White City Reclasser Association, Lucian, and Master Artificer Lysander exchanged anxious glances. Why hasn't he arrived yet? They knew the real star of this dinner wasn't them. It was Aiden. At that moment, a figure slowly appeared. Everyone in the room turned their eyes toward him. Kale was briefly surprised. Then a mocking smile appeared on his lips. Without thinking, he said, "Aiden, what are you doing here? Do you even belong here?" Chapter 35. The show begins. Everyone is shocked. Who is this guy? Today's a dinner for guests from the Sovereign City. Why is he dressed so casually? Didn't you hear what Kale from Dragonlight Guild said? That's Aiden. Aiden? I've never heard of him. I've heard a little. They say his awakened class is the weakest, the Iron Rank Magic Apprentice. And he got kicked out of school. Such a person is coming to the dinner. He definitely doesn't have the right to be here. How could Guildmaster Lucian let someone like this into the dinner? Probably just here to watch the show. Lucian heard the whispers behind him and immediately broke out in cold sweat. He dared not show any disrespect to Aiden at all. If these people wanted to die, that was their problem. But don't bring him into it. Without hesitation, Lucian turned around and shouted at the people who were talking. "Shut up!" Right away. The people who were gossiping about Aiden quickly closed their mouths and looked at Lucian in confusion. At that moment, Aiden slowly walked forward. Lucian and Lysander had planned to greet Aiden with a bow. But Aiden just waved his hand and looked at Kale's still swollen face. "TSK, TSK. I thought it was a pig's head, but it's actually Kale." Kale's eyes widened. He wasn't handsome to begin with, and now with his swollen face, it was even more embarrassing. "Get out. This isn't a place for someone like you." Kale took a deep breath. Even though Aiden had finished his class change mission, in Kale's eyes, an Iron Rank class was still the worst. The few attribute points Kale got by leveling up were more than what Aiden had when he reached level 10. It was just a higher level. The power of a weak class was nothing. Kale looked at Aiden coldly and said in a cold voice, "Elora, giving up on you was the right choice. If I were you, I would have already hidden in the sewers with all kinds of trash." Elora looked at Aiden and sighed before saying, "Aiden, I heard you went to see May Teacher at the Reclasser Association yesterday. At that time, you were given a chance, but you still chose to drop out. Now you're going to beg May Teacher again." At that moment, May stepped out from the crowd of the upper class in the White City and shouted loudly, "Yes, you asked me for a chance, and I would never say no. But you were not sincere yesterday, and you even threatened me. Aiden, the biggest shame of my life is being your teacher." As soon as May spoke, everyone around turned their eyes to her. She couldn't help but straighten her chest, as if she really enjoyed being watched. Someone whispered, "This May is probably going to become a top official in the school. After all, she has students like Kale and Elora who did really well in the college testing." That's right. Teacher May is very capable and has good character. Otherwise, how could she have taught students like Elora and Kale, who were so talented? As for Aiden, he's just unlucky. He got stuck with such a bad student. Right, right. Hearing the talk behind her, May pushed her chest out even more. She looked very upset and said, Aiden, don't keep being stubborn. Even if you can't take the college testing, you can still live a normal life. This is not the place for you. You should leave quickly. Faced with the criticism from Kale, Elora, and May, Aiden just smiled, a clear, confident, and expectant smile. Do you know what? When the sky wants to destroy someone, it usually makes them so arrogant that they lose all sense. Oh, by the way, I actually admire you all for being so stupid and full of yourself. Anyone with even a little brain wouldn't act like you. Aiden smiled and started walking. Under the surprised eyes of Kale, Elora, and May, he slowly moved to the back of Lucien. Lucien's body trembled slightly. How could he even stand in front of Aiden? Damn it! It must be that Mr. Aiden is angry, which is why he gave him such a warning. Lucien instinctively wanted to step behind Aiden, but Aiden said quietly, No, it's just about the order. Lucien had no choice but to stop. Still, he turned back and looked at Kale, Elora, and that annoying May with a cold, angry look. They were trying to destroy him. Others saw this and were surprised. They thought Aiden had somehow managed to get close to Lucien, the guildmaster. May's eyes flashed with a little worry. She looked at Elora and asked in a low voice, Is Aiden and Guildmaster Lucien related in some way? Elora shook her head. Aiden never told me anything about that. Kale tried to comfort them. An iron rank reclasser can't have any real connections. Don't worry. Maybe he begged Lucien for pity and got invited here by mistake. Elora and May thought about it, and both agreed it made sense. After all, they had both seen Aiden at the Reclasser Association. It must be that Aiden had used someone's kindness to get here. Even if he's here, no one will look at him any better. He'll just feel the big gap between himself and the real talents. Elora said with a cold laugh. Only Ronald, the leader of Dragonlight Guild, felt something was wrong. Lucien wasn't that kind. There were plenty of iron rank reclassers. Why was it only Aiden who got to come to this important dinner? Ronald coughed slightly and tried to walk toward Lucien. But as soon as he took a step, Lucien turned around suddenly and stared at him with a warning look. It was like he was saying, Don't come any closer. We don't know each other. This made Ronald's face turn dark. Dragonlight Guild might not be as strong as the Reclasser Association, but it was still one of the two major guilds in the White City. When had he ever been treated like this before? Was it all because of that Aiden? Ronald's eyes shifted to Aiden. He saw his old enemy, Leo, the leader of Warrior God Guild, walking slowly toward Aiden with his daughter, Selena. Leo bowed slightly and directly greeted Aiden. Mr. Aiden, hello. I'm the leader of Warrior God Guild. This is my daughter. With high heels made of crystal, long legs wrapped tightly in black stockings, and a backless long dress, Selena winked playfully and said sweetly, Hey, cutie, we've met before, right? Aiden was a little surprised. He hadn't expected the leader of Warrior God Guild to come over and greet Aiden on his own. He had a fairly good impression of Selena. After all, the first time he went to the wilds to level up, she had offered to team up with him. So Aiden nodded and said, Hello, Mr. Leo. Kale watched this and muttered to himself, Do they know each other? May looked at Aiden with envy. Leo was the leader of Warrior God Guild, and she had always wanted to meet him. Such a rude person. Leo himself came to greet Aiden, and Aiden just nodded. He's definitely going to make Leo angry. May didn't know why Aiden had such good luck, but she was sure that someone who wasn't polite wouldn't be liked by anyone. However, the next moment, the leader Leo, after getting Aiden's response, actually had a big, uncontrollable smile on his face. Leo started chatting with Aiden in a friendly way, looking like he was trying to please Aiden. Aiden didn't seem uncomfortable at all. His expression was calm and natural, as if everything was completely normal. What is going on? May's eyes widened. What was there to please about an iron rank student? Was she not awake? Or was she just too nervous? Kale and Elora also didn't understand. They looked at each other and both frowned. At that moment, The crowd suddenly went quiet. Everyone turned their heads and looked toward the front road. Just then, the mayor of the White City, Randy, got out of his luxury car. He ran over while looking around, as if searching for someone. When he finally saw Aiden behind Lucien, his eyes suddenly lit up. He stretched out his right hand from a few meters away. "Mr. Aiden, hello. It's our first meeting. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Mayor Randy." Aiden was a bit surprised by Randy's enthusiasm. Lucien whispered something in his ear, because Aiden was from the White City and he had killed a national-class red flag boss. For Randy, that was a huge achievement. "Thank you for your contribution to the White City, to Iron Vale, and to the country." Randy spoke quickly. Everyone at the scene, except Lucien and Lysander, was completely confused. Aiden was just an Iron Rank Magic Apprentice. Why was the mayor treating him so seriously? What could an Iron Rank reclasser even contribute? Ronald, the leader of Dragonlight Guild, suddenly narrowed his eyes. A bad feeling started to grow in his heart. But before he could think further, a tall man with a long scar across his face appeared with several young people who looked very noble. They landed in front of everyone. Member of the Sovereign City, Deputy Director of the Reclasser Association, Luke. The Sovereign City, Wexley family, Vespera. The Sovereign City, Taylor family of the military, Vivi. The Sovereign City, Hawthorne family business group, John. One after another, people announced their names. The people of the White City suddenly stopped breathing. These people were extremely powerful. Any one of them could make the whole city nervous. Mayor Randy was about to step forward to greet them, but he suddenly froze when he saw a small figure. Luke slowly moved aside. A girl who looked only about 10 years old smiled and waved to the people of the White City. Luke spoke seriously. "Imperial royal family. The little princess is here. Se vuoi, continua pure con il prossimo capitolo e faccio lo stesso identico lavoro."